welcome to episode 2 of the Verified Podcast. My name is Frank.
I'm Kai.
And we're your hosts for today's episode. Where do we start?
Well, I didn't know that you wanted to talk about you officiating the wedding this past weekend.
We should do some weekend recaps, some updates, right?
Yeah.
So, I officiated my first wedding this past weekend. That was pretty interesting.
How do you think you did?
I don't know, okay. I personally think I nailed it. It was like one of those things where I was nervous in the beginning, but I knew I had it in the bag the whole time. Yeah, I knew I had it in the bag. The feedback that I got from the bride, from the groom, from some of the people that were there was
you said you did a little bit in Spanish, right?
it was a Latino wedding.
Yeah.
It was a Hispanic wedding, right? And I, just for my ego, I was like, yo, I kind of want to do the ceremony in Spanish, officiate it in Spanish and not tell the bride or groom and just surprise them. Because the majority of their attendees, what do you call it, guests of the wedding, were of Hispanic origin.
This family.
Yeah, so I was like, let me do the whole ceremony in Spanish and just surprise everybody. But then I get to the venue and I was like, yo, to the bride, I was like, do you want me to do the ceremony in English or Spanish? And I gave her the option. And she was like, no, English is fine. You don't have to do it in Spanish. I was like, okay, cool. I get up there and I have my Bible and I'm like,
something must have told you.
Straight up, because it flowed. It was flowing like water. I stood up there and I was like, hola y bienvenidos a la ceremonia de. I forgot the rest of it. I'm nervous on the spot. It was good though. It was good Spanish.
Yeah.
And I did the whole entire intro in Spanish, and I think I stuttered once. I had one stutter, but it was because I'm standing there in the center of the aisle, or the center of the little arch, right? And everybody's staring at me, just dead straight center, eyes on me. And whenever you're practicing in front of a mirror, or you're practicing with no crowd there, it's easy. It's way easy. But then whenever you have all these people in front of you, it's okay, well now literally all eyes on me. Yeah. This is a little bit more tough than I thought it would be, But I did the first half of the ceremony in Spanish, and then the second half was in English. But the words that I kind of picked for it, my script that I wrote out, it was pretty solid. It brought a tear to my eye, officiating it. I didn't think I was gonna cry.
But you did.
I didn't cry. I wasn't weeping. I wasn't weeping. I think it was a singular tear.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
I did a singular tear, right eye, right corner, right there.
Yeah.
And it just drops, right? And I'm like, oh. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Flick off the tear for a second.
It was solid. Checked it off the bucket list. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, it seriously is.
Except for people that do it on the regular, I guess.
Yeah, but it's once in a lifetime opportunity for the regular person.
True.
Who else can say that they officiated a wedding and they're not a priest?
I don't know. Do you guys officiate weddings? Anybody? Sterling? You? Well, who knows? I love breaking that fourth wall.
Yeah, a little bit.
Now the audience is yeah, wait, who's
He's back here. Yeah, no, they're gonna be waiting for his cameo.
He's gonna do an episode eventually, right?
We gotta have the Sterling episode.
That would be.
It'd be hilarious.
Let's see, what else we do? We filmed the last episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that
episode? I've only gotten 30 minutes into it so far, but it flowed really well, and that 30 minutes flew by, and we have quite a bit of content.
It was cool because for our first episode of a podcast, I went back and edited it and was rewatching everything to make sure it was all solid, and whenever I was watching, I was like, dude, this is kind of interesting. It's not really dull. It's not really. It's like it.
Yeah.
It's like that. Hopefully, if you guys haven't seen the first episode, what are you doing? Tune in.
Where have you been? We're on episode 2.
Also, if you're watching here now, don't forget forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys want to see in the next episode.
Topics you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Anything. But I also like learned watching through that first episode so far, like things that I also need to work on. You know, as we continue our journey.
True. Kai was like rubbing up his beard on the mic too.
Sometimes I just be like moving my head and I kind of dip down. I don't know.
Hey, audio is a serious thing when it comes to like production.
You didn't warn me. You're the camera guy.
Bro, to be fair, we film a lot. Like I assumed like we were just.
I mean, like, when was the last time I used the mic?
True. We're never like normally personally like that.
Exactly.
So I forgot. It's on me. Like I forgot to run you through it, or it could have been on Garrett. Like
yeah. Also, I mean, they are his mics.
Let me not deflect. Let me take responsibility. I'll do that. Right? It's on me. I'll take it. I'll take it to the chin. You know. What's this episode about? What are we talking about today?
What do you want to talk about today?
I mean, we got some vinyl sitting around us, right?
Yeah.
We got some pretty solid albums. We have a whole collection, like we said on the last podcast, but I think we kind of ran through it and we're like, these are some solid picks to throw out there.
Yeah.
We got Death Race for Love, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Curtain Call, and Carrie and Lowell. That's a good album.
I've never heard a singular song on that album, but it caught my eye.
Yeah.
The cover caught my eye. Like,
It's different. It's funny because the rest of the albums are like they probably follow the same sort of like genre. I mean, rap, and rap, right?
Yeah.
But then like completely different artists right there. Completely different style of music, just chilling. I think it's important to like at least listen to all types of music to kind of experience it.
Yeah, and I think you get a better understanding of music as a whole whenever you branch out into those different genres.
Yeah, I agree. We could talk about Juice WRLD Day.
Juice WRLD Day. Let's start at the first one. We didn't even know if we'd be able to go. Like, Frank, we went there. Frank flew us there.
Pause.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sterling. You flew.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Okay. We can talk about Juice WRLD Day.
Yeah, let's talk about Juice WRLD Day. The first day we got there, we didn't even know if we were going to be able to go.
We didn't?
Yeah, dude. You literally flew us out there, and you were like, I don't know if I'm going to have this secured.
Surely I had to have reached out early.
Oh, yeah, I think you did. Like, I'm sure you did.
I think what had happened was I had reached out, and like I got into the beginning stages of getting our credentials for the event.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I reached Tenny.
Yeah.
Like Tenny and I had been talking back and forth, but we hadn't had any physical like passes or anything like that yet, right? So he was like, "Yeah, no, you guys are approved to film. Like you're good to go. Whoever you need to bring," and we just didn't have our passes yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, this is literally like the first Juice WRLD Day. For those of you guys that don't know, Juice WRLD Day is like the celebration of his life that they throw every year around December.
Yeah, it's around December.
I think like 14th, around something like that. I don't know what day it is this year.
I think it's a single digits, I think. Like third, maybe. We'll figure it out.
So I didn't know if we were going to be able to film it or not. But I was like, here's the deal, right? Worst case scenario, we get a vacation in Chicago. You know, I was like, worst case scenario, we get a vacation in Chicago and we can vlog like when we're out there and make some content and like at least get some sort of like use out of the trip.
Yeah.
And I think at the same time, we had some friends, right?
Yeah.
These mutual friends. Some of our friends lived in Michigan, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to the Juice WRLD Day festival too." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I think I met this girl at Summer Smash, right? Cole Bennett's festival.
Was that where it was?
Yeah, Lyrical Lemonade
Summer
Smash.
Smash. Last time we were in Chicago.
Yeah. So I had gone to Chicago for Summer Smash. It's a festival that Cole Bennett puts on every year. And I met this girl. And she was like, "I'm going to Juice WRLD Day, and I'm bringing some of my friends. Like, we were going to get GA tickets." And I was like, flexing or what? Like, I was like, don't worry about tickets, because you can come and do stuff with Studio 925, and like we are connected with the people that are producing it.
Yeah.
because I had been talking to like the head of production. Like I was like wording our submission for credentials and what. I had no idea if they were gonna be able to come or not. Like I don't think I told them. To be fair, I don't think I told them don't buy tickets. Yeah. I was more so just like, we're going, and we don't have tickets yet, and we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
So you guys have all the free reign to like figure your own stuff out. Let me know if you need something, you know.
Yeah.
But the time came around, and we fly into Chicago, and I think the festival was that night, right?
Didn't we stay up all night the day like we were supposed to fly out? So we came when we first like got to the room that we were staying in.
Yeah.
We took a nap for like 3 or 4 hours.
In the Airbnb?
Yeah, in the Airbnb.
Really?
Yes, because
we had a party. We had a party.
That's right. That's what it was.
I love how like the way we introed it is like, yeah, we stayed up all night as if we were doing some work or something.
No.
We threw a party the night before, and yeah, it was at the apartment.
Yeah, and we like Ubered back at 6 in the morning or something like around that time, maybe 5 in the morning or something like that, and went straight to the airport.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, went straight to the airport, flew into Chicago. And I was like, once we got to the airport, I was like, yo, surely by the time we land in Chicago, like as long as we get our press credentials, like maybe an hour before the event, I'm cool. Like I don't really, like I'll go off a limb, you know? And we land in Chicago at like probably 6 p.m., 6 p.m.? Or was it earlier?
It was earlier that time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because the festival
The
started.
second time we got in late because we missed our flights and shit.
Yeah. Juice WRLD Day, the first day, like first go around, it started around like 6, 7 p.m. and we landed at 2. So I was like, okay, by 5, 6 p.m. we should know if we're gonna be able to shoot or not. Whole time, like I got the production guy's phone number, and I'm like calling him, sending him texts and stuff. And eventually, I think it was like after we took our nap, and the girls like drove to our Airbnb, then like got to the Airbnb and we checked in and stuff. We like went to get food or something somewhere. And the girls were there and we're like, yo, what's the plan? And we had no clue.
Yeah.
Like, we had no idea what was going on. Oh wait, no, the girls weren't at the Airbnb there yet.
They showed up, they met us at the concert. Yeah, they met us at the concert.
We took a nap. I just rewrote history, my bad. We went to the Airbnb, it was you, me, and Russ, I think, right? We get to the Airbnb and took a nap, woke up, and it's like, hey, we gotta figure out what we're doing because the girls are on the way. And eventually, like, we were like, let's just pull up to the place and like see if we can talk to the head of production. Because I mean, if you got the contact of the production guy and he gives you the thumbs up, like theoretically,
you're good to go.
Yeah, you should be good to go. So I show up to the place and like I'm like, okay, we'll just park, or we Ubered.
Yeah, we Ubered there.
Yeah, it's like we'll just Uber, find our way to like a ticket stand or something, and then we'll be like, hey, we're supposed to shoot this thing. That's like the regular game plan. Like, you know, if you're shooting an event and you don't have your creds, like try to follow that. Like just pull up, tell them, hey, I'm supposed to be here, and then like
you have a pretty good shot at that.
Confidence is everything. You know? Yeah. So we get to the event and the guy responds. And he gives us our credentials and we make it in. And we get to like this little lounge area, like with a lot of the photographers, the artists, and like the producers, friends and family. It was like the friends and family lounge.
Yeah.
And we're hanging out, we had like a couple drinks and stuff. And all of a sudden I get a text from the girls that were like, hey, like we're gonna go to the festival. And she had texted me and she was like, yeah, we didn't buy tickets. So like, can you get us in?
You gotta get us in.
And I was like, well,
how can I?
How? We barely got in. And I was like, we weren't good.
Now I have to talk these people into letting 5 more people in.
Oh yeah.
That aren't gonna do anything.
Literally,
hang out.
that's what I was saying. So I was like, I texted the production guy. I was like, hey, we have some like friends from Studio 925 that want to pull up. Like they're Instagram models and they love hanging out and taking pictures. Yeah. And then I was like, it would be like a great opportunity for you guys to get content and stuff out of it. And then he didn't respond. Yeah, he was too busy running the whole thing. So I sit down with Kai and I'm like, let's mastermind this. Like we're sitting there with, I think I was sipping on vodka or something like that. And I'm like, so we have 5 people that don't have tickets and need tickets.
How are we gonna get them?
How? Yeah, how? And Kai's sitting there and he's like, I believe in you. He's like, you got it. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. I'm sitting here like letting stuff like ideas run through the brain and what. And eventually I see like this dude in the most like extravagant suit. Like he's got like a red velvet jacket on and it's like red on the outside and has like black collars and stuff. But this looks like a guy that knows what he's talking about, you know? Looks like a guy I can trust with
we got
my
Prince
problems.
in here.
Yeah. For real. So I go up to the dude and I was like, hey, so I wanted to talk to you about like an issue, see if you could help me with it, if I could pick your brain on something. And he's like, yeah, talk to me. And I was like, yeah, like I own this production company called Studio 925. Like part of our team members like ended up driving last minute from Michigan to get here. They're staying with us and they're part of our crew, but they don't have tickets. And before that, actually, before I asked the dude, I went to go buy them all tickets. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
I went to go buy all of these people tickets for the on the company card.
Yeah.
Because I was like, to be fair, like I don't want to leave anybody behind.
100%.
You know? So I go. This is the funny part. I go and I go to like Ticketmaster or something, select 5 tickets, and then put my card info in there and then purchase it. Money's gone out of my account. I think it was around like $500 for all the tickets combined. They don't even know that. I don't even think they know that.
Really?
Yeah, no, they don't know because I didn't.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't tell them. I was like, I just want to like have their back, and it's not about what I do. It's like just the end goal is to make sure everybody's together. So I bought the tickets, and it's like with Ticketmaster, it's normally people reselling their tickets, you know, or a lot of times it's people that bought the tickets in advance and they can list their tickets for the event. So I buy 5 tickets, and then I get an email like 45 minutes later. I told the girls, I was like, yo, you're good, knowing that I bought the tickets.
Yeah, head this way.
Yeah, for real. So then 45 minutes later or 30 minutes later, I get an email. It's like the tickets didn't go through. Like the venue that was hosting it, the United Center, was it?
Yeah, it is the United Center.
The United Center had crashed. Like their tickets, like the server that sends the tickets to the United Center crashed. So the tickets were invalid. So I was like, okay. And I look at my bank account and I'm like, well, the money.
Yeah, the money's gone.
The money is gone. Like it's for sure gone. So I was like, okay. So plan A ended in me losing $500 and still getting no tickets.
That's so tough.
So I was like, okay, we can't give up now. Now we just have to get creative. You know, like there's no other option. Because I'm also out $500 and I bought the tickets. And Ticketmaster was like, talk to the venue.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the guy in the red velvet jacket, and I'm like, so I tried buying my crew like these tickets, as you can see here, my receipt and everything, and Ticketmaster just said that the venue is no longer processing, or it's like having trouble processing tickets from that like provider. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna handle this for you. I'll be right back. And I was like, but I was gonna explain more, like,
yeah.
He didn't even like he just heard the problem and he's like, I'm on it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I love about like Grade A and the production of their Juice WRLD Day is like, these aren't, oftentimes when you go to festivals and like concerts and stuff, a lot of people are like pretentious and like people in production can be like, have an ego or something. But with Grade A, it's like everybody that we ever needed help from was like, yo, we got you. Like, don't even worry about it. I'll see what I can do, you know? And that's the really cool part about like some people in this industry is like, they'll really just scratch your back. They'll have your back, even if they don't know you.
There's some real dudes out there.
Yeah.
So
he leaves, and then like I'm just like, okay. In the meantime, let's go get some of the hors d'oeuvres that they're passing around.
Yeah.
Like they had some food and they had like some drinks and all, and I was like, let's just enjoy it a little bit, you know, while we're here. And we start vlogging and like getting the camera gear ready, like doing the whole like the build up, you know, like hey, this is it. This is that moment, you know.
Let's soak it in.
And meantime, while we're like celebrating and like getting ready for one of the biggest moments of our lives, my phone is getting blown up still by the girls. They're like, hey, like we're outside of the stadium, like we can't get in, like we don't know what to do. And I was like, just trust. I was like, trust, like chill, like we got it, you know.
Okay.
I just had faith, if I'm being honest. I had no idea how it was gonna go, but I was truly exhausted all options. Like I bought them tickets.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
Didn't
Like,
we start sweet talking the lady that was out front handing out the passes? Yeah.
we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. So the guy in the red velvet jacket comes back and he's like, I know exactly who you need to talk to. I need you to go to this gate, meet up with this person, and tell them I sent you. And I love when people do that. They're like, tell them that this person sent you.
Yeah.
Because like whenever I tell them, they're like, oh, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
This is a job changing decision
Yeah.
here.
So did I take you with me or did I take Russ with me whenever I went to go get the girls?
I think you took Russ with you.
So I
Because
take.
I had to use the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
some cold minute outside.
That's in
It
what?
was awesome.
What?
Coolest
What?
moment.
I know he was in there. He was in the lounge with us for a little bit.
Like he was chatting up with some dude. Like while
That's
I was
hard.
out there waiting.
That's
I
hard.
was like, yeah, that's cool.
He's a solid dude. There was a lot of people in that lounge. Like this was the artist lounge. Like,
yeah,
it was really
was
cool.
in there.
Ski was in there for a little bit. Scheme was in there too.
Really?
Everybody like that had a set was in there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because I don't even know if there was green rooms before that.
I'm sure there were for like
Maybe.
those artists. You know, we just didn't have access to that area.
So like for reference, we had like a booth in this artist lounge, right? And beside our booth, there's like an empty booth.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a cool part before we went to go get the girls. Like this dude pulls up, like past our booth, full gown, like a mask on his face, and you couldn't tell who it was, except they're like outline of their eyes, you could see through the mask. So dude like walks up, head down and stuff. He's got dreads, and he walks past our booth, past our section, doesn't even say what's up. Like he's got a whole posse behind him, and then he sits in the booth next to us, and like he like lights up, and like he's just chilling out there. I'm like, yo, who is this guy? Like everybody else is like, you can tell who it is, so you can tell if it's like a big celebrity or what, or an artist or what. And I'm like, why does his face like look familiar? Like those tattoos and what? And eventually I'm like, wait, yo, that's Trippie Redd. Like he takes his mask off and it's literally just Trippie Redd chilling in the booth beside ours. And I was like, okay, well, it's a pretty cool feeling. I was like, bro, like act calm, like chill. Like, you know? It was awesome. So I was like, I had that moment, I was like, okay, the girls, we gotta get this. You know, I was like, we gotta like focus right now, you know?
Yeah.
All this stuff was happening at once. And I was like, let's just lock in and solve this problem. So I go to the gate, I grab Russ, I'm like, hi, watch the gear. And we meet the girl that he was supposed to talk to. And I was like, hey, like, I'm looking for this person. She's like, oh, you found her, you know? And I was like, okay, this is my dilemma. We bought these tickets for the rest of our crew because we didn't tell like the grade A people in time that we needed the extra passes or tickets. So I bought these tickets, but they won't go through, you know? So I told the guy that was sitting in the artist lounge about our problem, and he said to talk to you, that you were the liaison for like kind of the friends and family and influencer passes and what. And she was like, yeah, like let me think. And she's like, brain power. She's like, I need first and last names of all these people, and like and I think Instagram handles or something like that.
Possibly.
For in the next like 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, like there's no service in this building, like the girls weren't answering the phone at the time. Yeah. So I was like, yo, like text me back right now. I'm blowing up their phone. I'm like, text me back right now, full names of everybody. Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yep. And then like I'm waiting, they're not answering. I text, double text, triple text, quadruple text. I call. And eventually she answers and she sends like the list of the names. And I was like, perfect, here you go. And then she's like writing out their information in this like spreadsheet or database for all the passes and stuff and the credentials. Links it up to their wristband or whatever we had. Like, I think we had the passes, they had wristbands. Yeah. And then she was like, tell them to meet us at this gate, and they're good. Meanwhile, like the show's about to start. Like at this point,
I think it had already started.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we still have to shoot the event. Like this wasn't like we hadn't even started yet. You know. So the girls meet us at the entrance. They get through. Everybody's dressed up, and we walk all the way to the artist lounge. And we took our photos for them against like their backdrops and like branding and stuff.
Yeah, they had that whole thing out right when you walked in.
Yeah.
Right, coming down that hallway, they had their whole setup.
And then they made it in, dude. Surprising. I against all odds, quite literally.
Yeah.
And all it took was like 2 conversations and $500. That didn't even get us any.
Yeah, really.
Like,
but you know, everything worked out in the end.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
It was worth it.
It was well worth it. I mean, like, then the show started, and like, you want to talk about like the show, like the experience of it?
So, for you guys who don't know, the first Juice WRLD day was the album release party for Fighting Demons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the first time anyone had heard, you know, those songs. Granted, the people that listen to the unreleased music or anything like that.
The people that leak it?
Yeah.
Or like
all
find the
those
leaks
people.
and all that?
Yeah. But it was the first time everyone was hearing those songs, and man, when Burn came on.
Oh, that was whenever we were walking through.
Yeah,
like,
right when we walked in.
That was like a crazy feeling.
Yeah.
Because like we're strapped up, we got the cameras and stuff on us. Like I got my telephoto lenses and stuff ready, and my flash like strapped to the camera. And like we walked through this. For those of you that haven't been or don't know, there's like a little, what would you call it? Like a tunnel.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's a tunnel between the hallway, like behind stage, and where the lounge and stuff was, and like the main floor in front of the stage. So we're like, okay, you guys ready? Like we finish our drinks, take our gulps and stuff, and then we're like, let's do this thing. We walk up with a whole squad. Like we had a whole posse. Like we had 3 camera guys out there, and then we had like what 4 or 5 girls with us.
5 girls.
5 girls hanging out with us. And no, it had to be 4.
It was 5.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I can't remember. It was a little bit.
I can name them all off.
No, don't name them.
Don't
Don't name them. I think we're good. I'll trust you with that. But like we walk in, and like that feeling, carrying the cameras and stuff, and then at this point, the song "Burn" starts playing.
Oh, dude.
Then the
Like,
lights start turning
chills,
on,
like, go
right?
down your back.
The lights start flashing, and then like the effects start coming in, you know. And it was like literally like we're the main characters in this movie that we were playing. It was like problem solution, you know.
And we got
fixed it. We
right to
made
the
it.
front.
Yeah, we were right there in the front. We had like, at this point you hadn't met Ski yet,
Yeah.
or Scheme.
I hadn't met Ski or Scheme.
Yeah, so I had met DJ Scheme. Oh, that's another good story.
Yeah, dude, when you called me, I was just vibing at the house. I get a call from Frank. He's like, "Yo, I'm with Ski and Ski."
No, you skipped part of it.
Okay.
So what it started as, we were filming this Beast video in Atlanta. And DJ Scheme happened to be in Atlanta. I think he posted on a story or something. So one of the boys was like, yo, like, you want to link up? I think they had been friends, right? So he's like, yeah, let's do something fun. Let's hit an arcade or something. So we go to the arcade, and like the Beast guys are like, hey, we're gonna go to this arcade. You should pull up. Like, we're all just gonna have fun, hang out, play some games, you know, like some cool adults. But I get there, and then all of a sudden, like DJ Scheme and his boy Nori, right? Like one of his best friends, we're just there, and I'm like I was here on a work trip. All of a sudden, like we're at the arcade.
Yeah.
With DJ
playing
Scheme.
skee ball with Ski Mask, the Slump God.
Bro, he wasn't even there yet. He wasn't even there. I called you and I was like, yo, Kai, you're not gonna believe this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you.
I called Kai and I'm like, yo, you're not gonna believe this, because Kai's more of a Scheme fan than I am, right? I mean, I love Scheme, but Kai's a Scheme fan. So I call him and I'm like, yo, like you're gonna like think I'm crazy or you're not gonna believe me, but like, guess who I'm at the arcade with right now? He's like, who? And I'm like, DJ Scheme. He's like, shut up. No, you're not. He's like, bro, no, you're not. And I was like, bro, literally, like, I just dabbed him up and we're hanging out and like. And for those of you that don't know who DJ Scheme is, should we pull up?
We can
his
pull
bio?
up his.
But for audio listeners too. It's
Okay.
really important. That's something I learned. Shout out audio listeners. Ready?
Yeah. His wiki page.
Bro, he doesn't even have a wiki page.
They don't have a wiki page for DJ Scheme.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
For those of you guys that don't know who DJ Scheme is, DJ Scheme is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, and producer from Palm Beach, Florida. He's famously known by his state. Bro, why would it say his name is DJ Scheme and he's famously known by his stage name DJ Scheme?
Yeah, that is. Wow.
Anyways, the rapper worked with various well-known artists like Juice WRLD and Ski Mask the Slump. Moreover, he was a. Can you let me finish? Moreover, he was also a close friend of the late XXX Tentacion.
My bad.
See, it was coming.
Okay, my bad. They should have that first though.
Yeah,
that's like
they
where he got his start.
Yeah, for real. This, I don't think this is like a legitimate, like, it's one of those like, nah, it's not wiki.
Yeah.
But basically, DJ Scheme is like a huge producer, huge artist. I mean, he's just a musical genius, right?
Yeah, he's great.
So I call Kai and I'm like, yo, like, I mean, we've bumped his songs in the dorm. Like, I'm literally just hanging out with him right now. He's like, that's insane, bro. And I was like, I gotta go, I gotta hang up, but like, yo, I just want to let you know so you can appreciate this moment with me. He's like, bet, I'll talk to you soon. I wish I was there, I wish I was there. And I was like, yeah, bro, I know. Hang up. We're all just hanging out, playing games and stuff, chatting, like getting to know each other. And then all of a sudden, like, Ski Mask walks through the front door with his security guard, Big Ski. This dude was huge. Like, he's just a giant. Like, shout out Ski and Big Ski, but like, and Ski. But like, Big Ski was huge. And
I saw him.
Ski is like way shorter than him. So it's like this big giant and then Ski. And it's like, they walk into the front door of this regular arcade.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on right now? Like, is that Ski Mask the Slump guy? I gotta call Kai. So I go back and I call Kai and I'm like, yo, Kai, like, you will not believe this. You know how I said I was with Ski?
Yeah. And as soon as you called me again, bro, I knew exactly what was gonna come out.
He was like, what is it? What is it? And I was like, bro, Ski Mask just pulled up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hanging out with both DJ Scheme and
That's
Ski
who I was
Mask
getting my
just
hopes up for, I should say, when I went into that call.
Bro, it was insane. Like, it was like, I was like, am I dreaming? Like,
I feel like Ski Mask was the first artist that we really bonded over.
he was the first artist. Well, I mean, is it next to Juice or did we bond?
At first, I would say it was Ski Mask.
Yeah.
Because Stokely had just came out.
True. Oh, true. Yeah, that was, I think Ski Mask was the first artist that we like both liked and both shared.
Yeah.
Like, I think either you played a Ski song or I did, and we're like, yo, you listen to Ski?
Yeah.
And it was like bond from there.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing about music, right?
100%.
To be able to like bond over a track like that, like that's hard.
Yeah, yeah. But keep going.
Start playing skee ball with Ski Mask.
It's crazy.
Not a lot of people can say that actually. Like skee ball with Ski Mask. Played ski with Ski.
Watch the run.
Dang, you got me. I pulled the guy.
You got me last time.
You got me,
for real.
You got me. But I mean, that was incredible. I think one of the funniest parts about it was like, we were all going to the bar to get like a drink, right? And Ski forgot his wallet. So like it's up his turn to get a drink and put his order in, right?
Yeah.
The lady's like, yo, like, let me see your ID. Let me see your driver's license. And he's patting his pockets. And he's like, yo, like, I forgot my ID. And she's like, oh, like, you can't get a drink. And he's like, no, but like, you could like Google search me.
Yeah.
he was like, no, like, I'm famous. Like my birthday is like on the internet.
Oh, yeah,
Like, and like, you can verify it online. And she's like, I don't know who you are, and I don't care. But if you don't have your ID, you're not gonna get anything. And he's like,
I mean, I guess that's fair. Like,
it's just funny because he's like a
Ski
huge
Mask
celebrity
is
that you can Google search Ski Mask birthday and figure it out, you know? It's just funny to me.
Yeah.
The struggles of being a celebrity, I guess, right?
Yeah. But, so, on Juice WRLD Day, I finally got to meet them.
So he hadn't gotten to meet them. And once I called him about Ski, I was like, yo, don't worry, one day you'll get your day. You know, everything that's for you will come. And I have a strong feeling like we got a good connection. Like it'll come back. So So like, literally probably like half a year later, a couple months, you know, if that, we go to Juice WRLD then. And while we're all like, Kai, myself, and the rest of our crew, while we're like on the floor in front of the stage, we see Ski and Scheme. No, we see Scheme first?
Scheme, yeah.
Yeah, we saw Scheme first, and he just finished his set. And like, he walks up to us, and I'm like, yo, Scheme. And he's like, yo, no way, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm shooting, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm performing. And it was cool because it was like, it's one thing to meet a bunch of artists and celebrities, but for them to like recognize like a face and like smile when they see you, or it's like one of those like, you know, like it's hype that I get to see you at this next like moment or this next event or what, like to catch up in that way, you know, in the same industry, in the same field. And I was like, this is my boy, this is Kai, like this is my right hand, what? And then Kai's sitting there like, he's like, hi.
I was freaking out, man.
Man's was like, hi, dabs him up, and I was like, dude, I told you, like, I did tell you.
To you.
What'd you say?
I was like, I'm never gonna watch this thing.
Yeah. This was so hype. He was saying, like, oh, I'm never gonna watch this hand again. And I was like, valid, I mean, makes sense. And then, next thing you know, I think Ski was either on his way to his set, or he had just finished his set. Oh, no, he had just finished his set. And Ski was like standing and talking to some people in the same like kind of area, friends and family area that we were in, right? And then I was like, should we go talk to him? We can go talk to him.
Yeah.
Kai's like, no, bro. I think I really want to go talk to him. I was like, all right, let's see if he remembers me. You know, like it's been a minute. Then we walk up to him. I was like, yeah, y'all sit here. Let me see if he remembers me, because I don't want to be that guy that's like, hey,
yeah,
this is my whole squad. I'm gonna force you to say what's up. You know, like that's like lame. But I walk up to him, I'm like, yo, like, Ski, what's good? And I saw his bodyguard too, and I was like, yo, dude, Big Ski, like, what's good? And he's like, yo, I haven't seen you since Atlanta. And we dab each other up, like, we're talking, catching up. Then I go to Ski, and I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? He's like, yo, no way. And it was cool, because I'm like, yo, this is a guy that I respect and, like, look up to, like, and for us to, like, know each other, at least remember the faces, a little bit easier.
I think that second time that you really meet up is, like,
exactly. Exactly.
Have that connection, yeah.
And then at that point, I was like, hold on one second. Like, can I introduce you to my boy? Like, he's a big fan, and like, this is a big moment for us. And he's like, yeah, bro. Like, I'll say what's up. What's good? And then Kai, boom, meets Ski right then and there. And I was like, that's 2 off the bucket list.
One of the
like
coolest
that.
moments.
Within a span of like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, son. Like, that was pretty dope. I'll give myself something for that, bro. Cheers to that.
For sure, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Dude. I got to meet one of my favorite people. One of my favorite people.
But you met both Ski and Ski.
Oh, I was talking more about Ski, but yeah,
Dude,
I
that's
meet
crazy.
both my favorite people.
That's crazy. No, it's already in there.
Dang, yeah, no, Ski.
It's
bro,
already.
He said it earlier, bro. I'm a huge ass fan. Like, don't take that personally. 2 of my favorite people, for sure. Yeah. What? Why are you giving me that look?
What look? That's my face.
That's your face.
Now, dude, what was
That's
that?
funny,
What was that?
But yeah, that was just an awesome day, dude. Like us going out there for that first time, man. Like it really set the tone. And that second day, we knew it was going on. But
The second day? You mean the second trip?
second time we went, yeah. We knew it was going on. We had a whole plan, but I had showed up late, remember? And I couldn't get a pass to get in.
The second day? That's not true.
Not the second day.
The second time? No, that's not true.
Yeah, I couldn't get a pass. You remember that?
You had yours. But you had, hold on a second. Let me make sure this is still recording. Yeah. We're good. We're still recording. Let's intermission. All right.
Brief intermission.
That's what I'm supposed to say.
I said it before you did.
Brief intermission.
Frank's like, I'll just edit it out.
The second Juice WRLD day. What did you like better, the first or the second one?
The first day, for
Really?
Just because, like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and like everything was just so crazy. And awesome, man. It was awesome.
For me, I like the second day more.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because at this point, the second Juice WRLD Festival, we had already like been working with Grade A. You know, we were on calls all the time. We were on meetings all the time. I was like chatting with Steve Cannon and my boy Damien and a couple other people that have worked closely with Grade A. And it felt like we were going there not as like just shooters, but as like friends, you know?
Yeah.
And that was really, really cool. Cause they hooked it up. Like we had a whole green room.
Yeah,
you know?
It was so cool.
And like their liaison, that was like getting everything ready for us.
The entire night.
Yeah, she was like, she sent me an email and she's like, what do you guys want in your green room? And like I asked like the boys, I'm like, what do we want? And they're like, yo, Pepsi and Monster Zero Ultra. And that's good, like we're good. And I get there and there's a cooler in there with like ice cold Monster and like ice cold Pepsi and stuff, or Dr. Pepper or whatever it was. And I was like, dude, this is cool. Like for them to like go the extra mile for their people and to experience that is like a whole different feeling. You know?
Snacks, they had everything.
Exactly. I mean, they hooked it up. They really did. So the beginning of it was like a little stressful.
Yeah.
Because everybody was like late to get to the airport. People were still traveling because I think either TwitchCon or something was going on. I can't remember. But like half of our squad couldn't make it. So like we're like missing flights. We have like too many bags or something with camera equipment or what. And I had to like send Kai on a different flight with the equipment so he could get to like Chicago on time.
Yeah.
Because I mean at this point I think the flights, like we had missed like the second to last flight out, right? And I had to stay back so I could like, worst case scenario, all these people were missing their flights. And I was like, I could just use the Studio 925 card and like get their flights done. And then if we can get a reimbursement, we can get a reimbursement. If it's not, it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I sent Kai with the gear because I was like, worst case scenario, you can go out there and film, you know, like the gear will be there. You'll be able to shoot, or whoever was like gonna be there. If I could get on like another flight or like some sort of crazy flight to a different city and then connect to Chicago or what, like I would get there a little bit late, but at least my stuff would be there and I could go straight into the motion, you know? But to that point, we had no idea like if we were gonna make it to the event or not.
Yeah, because you didn't even get in until like 8 o'clock.
No, yeah, I didn't, because I stayed back.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta make sure these guys can like make their flights, and like there was just no flights. There were literally no flights. There was one seat left on one flight that was like leaving in a few minutes, but you couldn't even have a checked bag with it. So that's why I had sent you off. I was like, just in case I need to like get on like a last minute flight. And then I made my last minute flight, got into Chicago super late. And like everybody else was already there. Like we flew the rest of the team out early. And I get there late. I was so mad. Like I was not in a good mood, honestly. But I think I stopped by the mall so I could get like new clothes or something, wear some drip, something like that for the party. But I get to the hotel, like everybody checks in, we do our thing, and we head to the venue. And once we get to the second part of the day, it's like cool because even though all this chaos happened, and even though a lot of people missed like their flights and what, like the head of production, like my boy Tenny, he was like, yo, like, are you gonna be able to make it? And I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And he's like, that's like important to me. You know, as long as I'll get to see you and like what, we'll be able to catch up. We'll be able to like do what we need to do.
That's real.
You know, I'm glad you'll be there. And I think it was the second year, wasn't it, where we did the Carl insert on the screen?
Yeah, they had the like commercial thing.
Yeah, so Carl did like a tribute to Juice. Carl from Mr. Beast, guys, famous popular Twitch streamer, but he did an insert that was like some homage or a shout out to Juice, and he's like, yeah, like we're celebrating Juice for all that he did for all of his fans, everyone out here. He was a very generous person, and to commemorate that, we're gonna be doing a giveaway. So I remember like Carl wasn't able to make it because I think he was in LA, and he still went and like filmed like a segment for them to play on the screen, and like he sent it over to me, and I'm sitting there like probably 15-20 minutes before it's supposed to air, and like on the big screen in the middle of the United Center, and like Tenny's he's like, yo, can you get this edited, like cut up so we can play it in a few? And I'm like, I'm lucky I have my laptop. Let's see what we can do. I plug it in real quick, cut it, and then I send it over to their like person who's in charge of like the displays, and they played it, and that was cool too because it was like we literally had just gotten the footage, and I just cut it up. Like I literally just cut it up, and then I'm watching the video that I just cut up play in this arena filled with people, and I'm like, that's really cool. Like to have your hands on something like that, like that's insane. It was awesome.
Cool feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the second one was like, oh, even after that, we went to a lot of like events and spent even more time with Grade A after.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think that's why another reason why I liked it more was because like after the first day of the show, that second time around, the boys were like from Grade A, they were like, yeah, we're staying in town. We got some events and stuff for some of the artists like ZZZ, and like they did an event at this store called Subi, or for this brand called Subi.
Yeah.
And they're like, you should pop out. Like everybody's gonna be there. And we popped out. We got some content. It's probably gonna be in one of the vlogs. It may already be out right now. But there's like clips that's in the intro that are from that event, and it was cool because like doing a pop-up event like that for like a brand that's popular and like seeing the artist in action and like a producer, his name's Backwoods, like we met Backwoods and like he's a pretty big, like pretty popular producer, you know?
He's pretty chill too, man. He bought me a shot for my birthday.
He bought Kai a shot for his birthday. Like we all met up for like family grub after the event, and everybody else hadn't made it there yet. I think our Uber was like quicker or something like that.
Yeah.
And we get to the restaurant and Woods is there, and we're talking and we're like chatting up, and I think he was like, was it your birthday or was it like the day after?
It was a couple days before my birthday.
Yeah, it was a couple days before his birthday, and we were talking about how it was coming up. And Woods was like, oh, I'm gonna buy you guys some shots. I'm gonna buy you a shot, like a round for your birthday. Buys all his shots. And I was like, we just met the dude. Like, that's awesome. That's love, you know? It was a good time. And then we met Han too that night.
Yeah.
Have we met him the first day or was it?
We met Han in LA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because they came over in hoops.
Yeah. I can't believe, dude, LA was crazy that one time we went.
Dude.
We schedule like these trips to kind of, I try to squeeze the most out of, also, look at my socks. Oh, it's this one.
The fox. What's it say?
It says 0, and then it's a fox, and it says give it.
Ooh.
I'll let you guys put that one together.
It's hard though.
Yeah. Bro, judge a man by his sock game, honestly.
Okay.
But we would schedule trips and try to fit as many clients in as possible. So at this time, we were going to meet up with the Grade A guys. They had been in LA. We were meeting up with this production company that my buddy owns called Blackstreet Entertainment. His name's Christian. And we were meeting up with a few Twitch streamers at the time as well, to kind of pitch like them on this new like upcoming platform that we're working with, right?
And we also went to the warehouse.
Yeah, but that's still under Grade A.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're just okay. I get you. My bad. Why you gotta make it awkward?
I didn't even do
I said I'm
anything.
sorry.
I didn't tell you to apologize.
I said I'm sorry.
I was being receptive.
Okay.
You can't get mad at my face as my reaction, bro. I'm just sitting here.
Frank's asleep.
That's
That's how you be like.
sips drink. Sips drink.
That was a loud sip. Yeah, that mic is getting all of that too.
I know. So this was fun. This was like a big moment for Studio 925 because we saved up a lot. Like we were working jobs to be able to go on that trip. And I was like, I think it's like I said in the last podcast episode, it's like I want to show the big dogs we can play with them, you know? And we like rented out this Airbnb, like we rented out like a nice car, and we're like, hey, I want to pick you guys' brain. Oh, we also met with the owner of Hubble Studios.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this huge like production studio in California. I think it was either in Los Angeles or West Hollywood or somewhere.
Yeah, it was a little out of the city.
Yeah.
Out of Hollywood. Yeah.
But like that's where they produce a lot of like the fashion inserts or stuff for magazines, etc. Like any music videos, high-end music video productions. I think they were shooting some music video or some movie while they were.
Yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it had like a big celebrity in it.
I can't remember.
We like pulled up, and there's like Lamborghini, like
That's
what
right.
else? There's a few nice cars out there.
I get it.
And they're like, no, like you can't be here. Like we're on set filming a movie right now. And I was like, oh.
But we can be.
I was not like that. No, Kai was like that. Kai was like, let me talk to him.
Let me do my thing real quick.
I was like, oh, he takes his glasses off.
That's when you know it's over.
I know. But it was cool because like we text Tenny and the rest of the guys from grade A, and we're like, hey, like we got a basketball hoop here. If you want to pull up, we're in Hollywood Hills, and we want to hoop. We want to play some basketball. So like they bring a whole squad, like a whole their whole like team they brought, and we all just had a basketball, started hooping, and played like fives, like 5-on-5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And like it's just cool to see like artists and stuff like that can just like hoop with like some dudes.
Be regular people.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like a respect thing for those of you guys that play sports. Like to be able to hoop with like someone that you work with or what, like it kind of like breaks that barrier and it like makes them a little more personal and relatable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It was also funny because we had just gone to the Airbnb, and like we're like standing outside with the front door open, kind of just looking at the view, and then like one of those like tour buses passes by, and then what did they say to me?
They called out something, right? Like they screamed out a name.
They called me some celebrity. They were like, "Is that?" Oh no! All they said is like, "Look, there's some rappers here."
Oh.
Yeah, they're like, "There's some rappers here. There's a lot of rappers here in Los Angeles or in the hills or what?" And I was like, "Why did they just assume we were rappers?"
Yeah.
Like what? That was weird to me. But I guess when it's wrong.
Funny.
Yeah.
Now you get to share it on the podcast.
I guess. Yeah, it was crazy. That was an experience.
Yeah, they came in, we played video game, we played 2K with them.
Please tell me one of us won.
What?
Please tell me one of us won.
I don't remember.
I hope so.
I think we kind of like let them do it because
Oh yeah,
console, right?
yeah. I brought my PlayStation,
Yeah.
my PS5. We also met up with Nick Antonian from David Dobrik's group.
Jonah.
Yeah, Jonah from
He's
the
so
Vlog Squad.
funny, dude.
I did not think he was that like funny in person.
Dude,
Like
he's
normally
actually hilarious.
with influencers and stuff like that, like they turn it off, you
Yeah.
know. But like, my boy Christian was like, "Hey, like we were trying to produce a show for Nick at the time, and my boy was like, hey, you should meet him. He would be great for this type of content or what. Like he's been looking to start a show." And I was like, perfect. Like let's talk. Let's see where his head's at. If we can like put something together. And the moment he shows up to dinner, because I think we left Hubble Studios with Christian, didn't we? Yeah, we left Hubble Studios with Christian, and then went straight to the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then Nick was supposed to meet with us like at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So we sit down at our table. All of a sudden, like Nick pulls up, and he's like, or Jonah. I guess should I say Jonah or Nick?
Nick. It's his name.
His name's Nick. Yeah, it's like people I guess know him as Jonah.
Yeah, but his name's Nick.
So Nick pulls up, and from the beginning starts laying down jokes.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like.
He's actually a comedian.
It felt like the entire experience sitting down with him was like a sitcom routine. Like it was actually hilarious the entire time. He didn't turn it off, and he was just a nice guy.
Yeah, he was
really
nice
cool.
guy. Those people are really genuine. Like I noticed, like the people that you've connected with that'll connect you to those influencers are real.
Yeah.
So they hang out with real people.
Exactly.
You know,
That's
like,
it. That's it.
Like that's a cool thing to see.
That was like a big moment for me, because we watched Vlog Squad like almost every day.
We had David Dobrik like the hour long compilation
for inspiration.
Yeah. We would literally just play those all day long.
Oh yeah. And like we didn't get to meet David.
No, we didn't get to meet David.
But to meet someone as funny and like big as like Nick.
Yeah.
Like,
it was worth it. Man.
Way worth it. Like it was like, yo, this is a good moment for us. Like it was pretty solid. You know?
I can't complain at all, dude. Like, and I also like a lot of people from where I'm from, like, watch the Vlog Squad. Like, they're really into
Almost everybody I know watches.
So like when they saw that picture of us, bro, like it was just cool, man. Like it's a nice thing to see when everything comes to fruition.
Oh yeah, because we were talking about that. I think I told like one of my exes, I was like, oh, like you're a fan of David Dobrik and Vlog Squad? Hold my beer. I was like, give me a few months.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can put together, you know? And then like a few months later, I'm like posted up with Nick from Vlog Squad, and I'm like,
cheese
yeah.
Just cheese it, bro, at the restaurant. Man.
It was a good
Going up the deuces.
It was pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. And then cruising down Hollywood Hills in the Maserati. That was not even. He says it like. First of all, don't say that, because if Brad from the car rental place hears that, he's gonna be a little bit.
Okay, he didn't know about scratch it. He was in control.
So what happened was we had a Maserati Ghibli, right? And we were turning out of this really tough, like
yeah, because those roads, man, in the hills are like
they were
really
crazy.
steep. Yeah.
And the traffic was going like so fast, like there was barely any breaks in between cars. We were sitting there for like 25 minutes, waiting for an opportunity to like leave the store.
There was a stop sign.
Yeah, exactly. There was no lights or anything like that. So I was like, okay, Kai, like buckle up and hold on to the handle. So Kai's like, oh, here we go. Like he buckles up, holds on to the handle, and like I've been driving this car for a few days now, right? So I had a good feeling on it, and like I know how to handle a car. Like, I'm a big car guy, right? So I'm like, okay, 3, 2, 1. There's a gap, right? Like slam on the gas, right? And then I just start turning the wheel. We push out of the parking lot that we were in, and I turn. Back tire starts spinning, and I'm like, it was all happening in slow motion. It was in slow motion, so I was like, okay, think about all like the racing games that you played as a kid, like Mario Kart or something when you're drifting. And I was like, okay, whenever like your back wheels like spin out and start pushing the trunk or pushing the back of the car, you counter steer, right? And then you can correct itself. Or like in what's that movie with Lightning McQueen? Cars. Yeah, that's another big inspiration for where I learned my driving skills.
Okay. The animated cars.
The animated car movie. So I'm like, okay, we're spinning, counter steer, right? And it corrects itself. And then like we skid like a little bit, and then boom, we stop like right before the curve. And then it just starts going like perfectly fit in the lane. Like it was like straight out of Fast and Furious. And then I just like correct, and like we're just driving straight like nothing happened. And I'm like, nice.
We made it.
Yeah, we were like, okay. That was crazy. That was like a cool.
And we got the tour of the hills. You know, we got to go up all the way up to the top. And
that was inspirational. That was like cool. Some serious motivation. Because had I already been in LA before that, or was it?
Yeah, you had already been to LA.
So I like one of the other times I was in LA, like I got to go all the way up to the hills for some party or something, and I got to see the Hollywood sign and like the view from up there. Like first of all, like being that high up and seeing the lights of the city and like the skyline and everything, it's like that's pretty cool. And I was like, yo, you gotta see something. So we go driving, like twists and turns in the hills. Like it's literally just a winded road, you know?
The weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. But
super narrow roads, just all leading up into this giant hill. And then we get to the top, and it's like literally the end, like the highest point. And you can see the sign, and you can see the city, and you can just see like, all these stars in the sky. And that was like I think that was a big, like, we're gonna make it moment.
Right? We just sat there for a second.
And soaked it in. It's like to be able to be in LA right now, like hanging out with all these people.
Living our dream.
And Carl was there at the time too, right? He was doing something. He was hanging out with
Oh,
Packity
yeah,
and
because
Tina.
we went to the store with them. What was it? I can't remember. Designer store.
Was it Saks? I think it was
Yeah,
Saks.
yeah.
We oh, they were doing some sort of brand deal. They were doing the Hell's Kitchen ad.
That's right.
Yeah, they were doing the Hell's
That's
Kitchen.
where you got the white sunglasses.
Oh, the Kenzos. That was like on brand for me for a while.
Yeah.
Something about white sunglasses. I love.
You'll see them in the intro if you pay attention.
Oh yeah. I don't know if those were the Kenzos. Those were the Versace ones that I had. Rest in peace to those.
What happened to them?
This girl.
Someone
took
broke
them.
them.
No, this girl took them, and she never gave them back to me.
That's happened with like 5 chains.
I know. Like, why do people just take my stuff? Like, that's what gets on my nerves. And I asked her nicely, I was like, hey, can I have my sunglasses back? And she's like, yeah, no, I'll send them to you. I was like, you don't have my address.
Yeah.
Do you want my address? Doesn't respond. I'm like, here's my address in case like you want to send them. And I just came to terms. I was like, I'm gonna take a loss.
That's why you had to get the new ones.
I didn't. No, those were the Versace ones I had. The Kenzos, TSA took them.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, TSA took those.
When?
When we came back from, I think it was some Beast video that I shot. I came back and they took them.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Why'd they do that? They
It's a good question.
Take sunglasses? Like, what? What kind of thread are sunglasses?
I have no clue. They were too fly.
Oh, that was hard.
So Grade A, the guys at Grade A invited us to their warehouse, their production warehouse for a lot of like the merch that they do for creators.
Yeah.
So it was like Juice WRLD. Who else was in there?
They had YBN Corday, I think.
Mhm.
Lil TJ.
Lil TJ.
Yeah, they had Lil TJ stuff in there.
Trippy stuff was in there.
Yeah.
There was another big like creators that stuff was in there. I can't remember who it was. But they had a few creators in there, and it was like their manufacturing place, right? So they take all their like blanks and then put designs on them. They come up with designs in there. They come up with merchandise ideas. There was like limited edition, unreleased stuff that was there, like that wouldn't even go into production. And they're like, hey, we want to give you guys a tour of the facility so you can see a bunch of stuff. We want to leave you guys with some merch and whatever. So like we go in there and they're like, here, you take a box, you take a box,
These huge
and you take a box, and then just fill it up with whatever you want and take it. So I'm like, what? And this was all like blown, like limited edition crossover collab stuff. Like it was some serious gear. And they were like, yeah, like bro, take this, a copy of this vinyl, take this, like we really like care about you guys.
Gave us a ton of socks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I have like 10 pairs of those 999 socks.
Give me one. I don't even think I have any.
Actually?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll slide you some.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, they gave us these huge. We had 4 boxes full of just clothing that we had to figure out how we were going to transport from California.
Yeah, because they were like basically only Carl from the Mr. Beast group was like in LA at the time.
Yeah.
And they were like, we want to get like merch not only for, because I think Carl, Quackity, and Tina, and maybe was Foolish there?
I don't know if he came with us.
Foolish might not have been there.
He came to like our crib, but I don't think he came to the warehouse.
So Carl, Quackity, and Tina, I believe, were all at the warehouse. And he was like, yo, I want to give not only all of you guys some stuff, some Juice WRLD merch and whatever, but I want you to take some home for like Chandler and Jimmy and Chris. Yeah. And so they're like, so here's a box for all of them. Oh, and Chucky. Shout out Chuck.
Yeah.
But he's like, here's a box for all of them. Ask them their sizes and just throw some like clothes in there. So I called Chucky and I'm like, yo, tell me everybody's sizes. I'm at the grade A warehouse right now. I want to give you some like clothes. And he's like, whoa, large, extra large, and like whatever. And I was like, cool. So we got all this merch, and we also didn't have, what's it called? Any room in our bags, like our suitcases.
Yeah.
How did we even bring it back?
We threw it in the carry-on, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we just tossed them on the scale and let them take them.
Oh.
The boxes weren't too beat up when they got back. I mean, it all worked out. But
we were trying to figure out how we're gonna get the merch back.
Yeah.
And what do we do with it?
We put it in a carry-on, like for the
We just stuffed our like book bags and stuff with all this merch, and ended up bringing it back.
Yeah.
And then I think we talked about it in the last podcast or one of the last ones. It was like Twitter went crazy, and the boys started wearing some. Oh yeah, the boys started wearing some of the merch, and like Twitter was like, "Yo, the Beast Crew supports Juice WRLD."
Whoa. Yeah, that was we took a whole
Yeah.
different realm with that.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Combined two different worlds.
That was my goal. I was like, if you could have this one huge mega celebrity that works in this niche, and then have them do a collab or a cross. It's like those Disney Channel crossovers, or like, what would it be like? This.
Didn't they used to have like shows like That's So Sweet Life?
Yeah, like the Wizards of Waverly Place mixing with some like you know
stuff like that. Yeah.
Those are some wild references. I don't know if people that are watching it.
Yeah, we might be too old, man.
Wizards of Waverly Place was a solid show.
That was a great
And
show.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, Sweet Life on Deck.
Yeah.
Those were pretty solid shows.
I was in like the Lizzie McGuire.
Really?
Phil of the Future.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
man. Like that was my shit.
I was a huge Drake and Josh guy too.
Drake and Josh, yeah. Nickelodeon had some good shows too.
Mhm.
They had like Rugrats.
Rugrats was so good. Rugrats was so good. I sent you that one dude from Rugrats.
Yeah.
I wanted you to change your Instagram profile to that because I did. Mine's a cartoon character. It's Black
Yeah.
Danny Phantom.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like the cartoons. I like showing.
Come on.
Show my
I
face first.
love the cartoons. The cartoons are amazing.
Okay, so let me ask you this question:
Let's hear it.
Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, or Disney Channel? 2008.
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network is like
Teen Titans.
yeah, and also it's Adult Swim at nighttime.
Yeah.
So like, if you had to like, all the other ones had to go, I would definitely choose. It was channel 48 for us.
This channel, like, it was in the middle of like 290 something.
That's how you know he had expensive.
DirecTV.
Yeah, I was gonna say he had the expensive stuff. We just had the
cable. We had cable for a while, but when we upgraded to DirecTV, it was
Yeah.
290 something.
That's crazy. We did eventually too. But,
Yeah.
But, Cartoon Network. If I had to choose between the three, I would say Cartoon Network.
I would say Nickelodeon personally.
Really?
Dude.
Nick at Night. I wasn't. What you had George Lopez.
I didn't like really watch it that late. My parents had to go to bed early.
Oh, you just sneak.
Yeah.
Just sneak it.
I couldn't, bro. They made us keep our doors open when we were that young. Like, yeah. But, what's it called? Drake and Josh, Zoe 101.
Zoe 101 was a
Zoe
good one.
101 went
That was
hard.
a good show.
Yeah. Like,
Did you ever watch Freaks and Geeks?
I didn't really get into it. That was like James Franco or Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Yeah, all them when they
Yeah.
first started. Yeah.
Solid show. 10 out of 10.
I should check out a couple episodes.
We should watch it because it's a good show. I love Freaks and Geeks. If I ever like want some nostalgia, I'll put it on. Especially because you like movies like Superbad,
Yeah,
Project
yeah.
X, and such. So I feel like you would appreciate that.
Yeah, I would definitely. I need to get into it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I was more of a Nickelodeon person.
Both Juice WRLD days were awesome. Just to close that out.
Yeah.
Both Juice WRLD days were incredible.
Thank you, Grade A, for everything.
Huge. This whole episode is a thank you to Grade A.
Yeah.
All of these guys are super talented, like super cool too.
Yeah. Great people, man.
They built like a good family. Like they have like a strong team around them, and I'm really excited to see what they do this year for Juice WRLD Day.
Yeah.
And
I wonder who's gonna pop out this year.
me too. Me too. There's
I
like,
wonder if it's like gonna be the same people or if they're gonna bring in some different people. I don't know.
I wonder if they're gonna release Party Never Ends.
Dude, I hope so. I'm praying.
I tried to like pull it out of Steve.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
he
have said it on the
budge.
podcast.
He would budge.
But no, I didn't even mean to. I was like, as a like intro topic to the conversation, I was like, how's planning going for Juice WRLD Day? Like, are you guys planning on releasing The Party Never Ends? And then like, instead of texting me back, like he calls me. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't want to. immediately when we started talking, I was like, look, I wasn't trying to fish, bro. Like, I just wanted to give me the details, but I don't know. So,
dude, I really hope so. It might be a surprise, man. Like,
it should be.
They'll figure out
To be
what they
fair,
want to do,
yeah.
man. Both days have been great. Both times they did it, so I trust them.
Me too. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back out, man. I love Chicago. Chicago's a beautiful city.
Part of me wishes I lived in Chicago. Like, if I were to rank my favorite cities, Chicago's number one. I really like Detroit. A lot of people don't like Detroit for some reason, but I like Detroit. Like, the culture there was really cool. The story of Detroit is like really cool too. The story of Chicago is cool.
Yeah.
I also like. It's tough. I like LA.
Do you?
A little
It's
bit.
not too much for you.
I could only do LA in trips. I could never live in LA.
Yeah, I can.
I couldn't live in LA. I'm not a huge fan of Miami,
But you're not.
which is weird because
I
I've
could
always
see
been
you.
a Miami huge fan.
I could see you being like a Miami person.
I just like the cold. Is like a big
Yeah.
thing for me. Like I love
It's
cold
real
weather.
down in Florida.
Very humid.
Yeah.
Very humid. And the city isn't that pretty. Like it's a lot of just like buildings. Whereas like in like places like Chicago, like there's a river, you know.
Yeah.
And that's really nice to
That's
see.
a
I love the
beautiful
water.
bridge.
Yeah, the bridge is beautiful. Or like I guess I like Manhattan, because the parks are really nice, and it's just smelly and dirty.
Yeah, I love that.
New York is dirty.
It is.
I have a video of the last time I was in New York.
You see any big rats?
Oh yeah, I like it. I saw one crossing by me. I pulled my phone out, and I like turn around in the video, and you get. And then like this fat rat just like hopping up and down.
Dude, they're big.
And I was like, yo, what like is that even real?
Dude, they're prehistoric rats. Like, I
It's
swear.
insane.
They've been living in the sewers for millions of years.
New York was cool. It's just not for me. So the
Yeah.
people there are like y'all are a little too much for me.
They're just some people like I think it's a northern thing. So my
Yeah.
family's like from the north, you know. So like I'm kind of used to people kind of like being a little rude, you know.
Bro, I was walking down the
Yeah.
street. Having the time of my life. Like I had just seen a client. I was getting ready for this launch party for this YouTube channel. It's called the Birthday Series. Check them out. Super fire guys. Shout out Ryan. Shout out Ben. But I was going to this launch event, and I'm walking down the street, kind of just experiencing New York. Because I was like, if I want to move here, I want to see what my day to day would look like.
Yeah.
I'm walking like through. I think I was in Manhattan. I was walking through Manhattan, smiling, and some dude stops me. Or he's just like yells from walking beside me or in front of me. He's like, "Yo, why are you smiling?" And I like turn around, and like there's nobody else like around me.
Yeah.
And I was smiling, and I was like, "Oh." Like, why? I didn't see a sign. And I was like, "Yo, no smiling allowed." Smiling prohibited. Like he man's really didn't want me to be happy. Yeah, that's crazy.
That was out of pocket.
It was interesting. I was like, okay. Like,
Yeah, some people just are like a little rude up there, but it also comes with like think about driving in New York. Have you driven in New York?
Absolutely not. I
Dude,
won't.
like you have to be an aggressive driver because like people will cut you off, and like I feel like that's kind of like the attitude up there. You know, like everyone's on the offense.
I feel like you shouldn't drive in New York. Like
Yeah,
it
you
takes. I mean, I took taxi cabs, right?
Yeah.
And it would take me longer to take a cab than to walk somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
why am I doing this?
yeah. New York's alright. I like Detroit. I like Chicago.
So have you been to more like northern cities than you have like around the south? I guess like New Orleans.
I've been to New Orleans.
Texas, anywhere in Texas.
I haven't been to Texas
You've
actually.
been to Atlanta.
I've been to Atlanta, Georgia.
None of like the Alabamas or Arkansas, anything like that.
No, I don't mess with that.
Yeah, stay out of that area.
I'll stay out of it.
But
I even got trouble in South Carolina when I was on my way back from the last time I was in Atlanta.
yeah.
I had just seen, I think I had a job, or I had some Studio 925 work that I had to do in Georgia. So, and I was also debating on if I wanted to move to Atlanta. Like, that was an option. I had some boys that lived there. Like, it's a pretty big film scene in Atlanta. And I was like, let's test it and see how it goes. And on my way back to North Carolina, I cut through South Carolina, and I was like, I wasn't even speeding or anything. I'm just 2 hands on the wheel. I was on the phone with my sister, and it was on like Bluetooth in the car. Keeping in mind, I had just bought my car. It was like, I bought it for my birthday, right? Which is like maybe a few weeks ago, like at the time, a month ago about.
Okay.
That's important to the story, so make sure you guys are following along. I'm driving back, talking to my sister, going the speed limit. I'm in the far right lane, like I'm not even in the fast lane or anything like that. And I see like a blacked out Suburban with no like markings on the car, like a non-marked vehicle, right? And he's parked on that little like divider between the actual highway and the merging lane.
Yeah, like the bypass.
Yeah, exactly. So I pass him, and I'm like, this is obviously a cop. He's got like that front rail or the front guard on his car for his grill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is obviously a cop. So like 10 and 2, going like probably 2 over, if that. I was most likely going the speed limit. But I'm like, audibly telling my sister, yeah, there's a cop right here, so I'm just gonna cruise by him without speeding. And then once I pass him, he like pulls off not yet. He pulls off the side of the road and starts following me. And I was like, oh, he just like pulled up behind me, but like it's not like I was doing anything wrong, so I'm just gonna keep driving. I keep driving, and then the lights turn on. I was like, okay, well, maybe he's just trying to get through. Like, let me just pull over here so he can like get past me. And then I pull over to the side of the road because I literally wasn't doing anything wrong. So I was like, he obviously wants to go through because I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Then he starts like, he pulled me over and he follows my car off to the side of the road. And I'm like, okay. I tell my sister, I'm like, yeah, I just got pulled over. Let me turn the volume down, you know, and just, she's like, can you stay on the phone? Because you never know what's gonna happen, right? So she's like, yeah, just, I'll be on the phone, I'll listen. I was like, cool. Officer like comes around, I like lower my window, and he's like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, I'm good. How are you? And he's like, good. Doesn't say anything, just stays silent. I'm like, no disrespect, but like, do you mind? Do you mind like if I ask why you pulled me over? And he's like, yeah, you were cutting up traffic. And I was like, excuse me? And he's like, you were cutting up traffic, meaning I was like weaving in and out of lanes and like he said I was like following cars too closely and stuff. And I was like, I passed you. Like I was behind you in the same lane, then passed you in the same lane going the speed limit. And he's like, okay. Is this your vehicle? And I was like, yeah, like this is my vehicle, like I just bought it, like that's why there's temp tags on the back. And he's like, okay, because your tags are expired. And I was like, what? How are my tags expired? Like I bought this car on my birthday and I think,
yeah, it doesn't work.
it's 30-day tag. And I was like, you know, I don't think it's been like over 30 days since I bought the car. And I was like, okay, like I wasn't really paying attention. I thought I had more time. Do you mind if I ask when it expired? He's like, oh, it expires today. And I'm like, okay, because it expired the day, like, you're not going to give me a 1 day, like, window? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it expires today. Let me see your proof of ownership of the vehicle, your registration, and your license. So whenever you buy a car, like, they give you that temporary registration because you don't even have, like, you know.
They have to send that in the mail.
Exactly. So I was like, here's my temporary registration. And he's like, I need to see, like, a credit card that matches like your name on the like proof of insurance and on the license. Like he was insinuating that I stole the vehicle. Yeah. Right? And I was like, no, like this is my car. And he's like, what are you doing in South Carolina if you're from North Carolina? And I was like, I'm headed back from, right? I was like, I'm headed back from work in Atlanta. And keeping in mind, I was like, let me be as cooperative as possible. Like,
Yeah.
God forbid anything happens. Yeah, you want to be respectful to everyone.
It's not worth it to play around with your life like that.
Exactly. So I was like, on the way back from work in Atlanta, and he's like, work? What do you do? And I was like, oh, like I own a film company. We do production for festivals, artists, influencers, whatever. And he's like, okay, who have you worked with? Or like he was like, who were you working with in Atlanta?
At this point, he's just wasting your time.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think you know them. Like, you could, but like, I could say any name, and you'd be like, how does that change the outcome of like?
You know what that man was doing?
Fishing, fishing.
Yeah, he is fishing.
And I was like, on the way to another appointment. Like I had an appointment that I was on time for, but when I got pulled over, I started to get late, and then it was close to closing because I was driving from Georgia to my appointment in, I think it was Charlotte, where I had like a doctor's appointment or something. So the dude was like, okay, what artists or who were you working with? And I told him, I was like, I met up with Backwoods, I met up with this person and this person, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, okay. I mean, I told you, like, once he's like, okay, I'm gonna look at your license and registration, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Takes my stuff, goes to his car, like runs all my information. And I'm talking on the phone with my sister, like, okay, this is crazy. Like, I wasn't even doing anything. He comes back and I'm like, okay, surely, like, he's just gonna be like, okay, enjoy the rest of your day or what? I come back and guess what he tells me?
What?
Sir, step out of the vehicle. Yo, I'm not even kidding. I like swear. He was like, step out of the vehicle. And I was like, you
What?
I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I get out of the car and he's like, now follow me, get on like he didn't say get on the front of his vehicle, but he's like, stand right here, and it's right in front of his car. Like it's a cop car, the lights are on and everything. I'm standing on the side of the highway in the middle of South Carolina, and he's like, yeah, so I just need to do a few like little background things just to make sure everything checks out. And like he like walks around my car, is like looking around and like smelling the interior of my car and stuff. And he goes back to his car, runs my stuff again a second time, makes me stand there for like 15 minutes. And then he comes back out with this little blue piece of paper. He's like, I wrote you like just a little warning citation. You don't need to do anything with this, but I'm just letting you know, like, you're good this time.
Back to South Carolina.
Don't come back to South Carolina. We don't want you here. And I was like, yeah, enough said. I understand. Like, but it was interesting because I look at the citation. It's like following cars too closely or something like that. And I literally, if I was speeding, I'd take accountability for it. I've gotten speeding tickets before. You know, like all own up to it. Exactly. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal to get a ticket. Like everybody gets tickets.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't lie and be like, yo. But he just gave me a little like warning citation. He's like, okay, you're good to go.
But wasted 30 minutes of your time.
An hour.
You could
An hour.
An hour you would have been back here, bro. Like ridiculous.
Yeah. It was insane. I was like, okay.
That's a crazy experience.
I was talking with my sister and she heard the whole thing and she's like, do you not realize what just happened? And I was like, no, what happened? And she's like, you just got racially profiled. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like,
he saw you driving this nice ass car.
Yeah, and she's like, you literally didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He stops you, asks you to step out of the vehicle and starts sniffing inside of your car. He probably thought you were coming from Atlanta smuggling drugs.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I didn't even put that together. I'm just like an innocent little.
It's like with the temporary tags too. Oh
the day my temp tag, like my template expired, the day of, like, and the thing is, I had already paid my registration for the car and the taxes on the car, but they have to mail the plate to your house.
Yeah.
So just because like the plate, the temp tag is expired on your car, it doesn't necessarily mean that your registration's expired. Or like the temporary is expired, because when you already pay for the thing, you're just waiting for your plate to get mailed to you instead of having a piece of paper on your car.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was crazy. The whole experience was like, wow. Definitely not moving to Atlanta, and definitely not moving to South Carolina, because like this was Interesting.
Yeah, I've been to South Carolina quite a few times, and it's not really a place that I would live.
Really?
I mean, like, it's just not too nice. No offense to anyone that lives out in South Carolina, but they're
Full
just
offense.
not very,
Full
like,
offense.
very nice places. The beach, Myrtle Beach, Dirty Myrtle. I mean,
They do call it that.
yeah, it's nickname. I think the best thing they got is probably Charleston.
I've never been.
Really?
No.
It's not terrible. It's a nice place. There's good places in every state, but I like to try and not think that people are that like bad of people that they would do that to someone.
Me too. I was not anticipating
Give
like
people
that.
the benefit of the doubt, but bad people do exist.
Oof.
Is that how we want to end it? Your crazy cop story.
That's a pretty crazy It's still like I hear it and I'm like, I can't believe that happened.
I've only gotten pulled over twice, and I've gotten a ticket both times.
Really?
I haven't gotten a warning before. I was going like maybe 11 over. Like I was going 46 and a 35. Got pulled over. Got a ticket for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then another time, my tags were expired. But to be fair, they were expired for like 3 months, and I didn't know.
It's one of those things you overlook.
Yeah. I forgot about it. Forgot that you had to get your tags renewed.
I think I've had three speeding tickets so far. But when I bought my new car, I was like, you're not allowed to like speed in it, so you can't get a ticket in this vehicle, especially with insurance.
Yeah.
Like the insurance will go.
Oh, dude.
I mean, normally if you like take it to court, take a lawyer, it's not as bad. But like,
The insurance companies don't play around.
yeah, they don't play around. They'll jack up your like prices monthly
They will.
by hundreds of dollars if they have to.
They don't care.
Yeah. So I was like, let me just be safe with this car, and I wasn't speeding, and I still got pulled over, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. The luck of the trade, I guess.
What can you do?
Sheesh. How do you want to wrap this?
I mean,
Like a present?
yeah. There you go.
On a
Where's
beat?
the bow? Yeah.
On a beat? We could wrap it on a beat.
I'm not doing that. Thank you again to Grade A. Let's give our thanks to them again. They're the best people. Thank you for accepting us, and guiding us throughout our journey.
Shout out to Steve, Nolan, Tenny, Scheme, Trippy, all those guys. I mean, anybody that I didn't name, Han,
You know who you are.
Lau, I mean Z,
Gibby.
all the whole team. Like, they're awesome, and I'm very, very excited for this year's Juice WRLD Day.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be insane, and I think this year is gonna be the smoothest year.
I hope so.
Because we ran into problems on both times, but this year is gonna go very smooth. I feel like.
Everybody that's watching, make sure you go to the link in the bio and buy your tickets for Juice WRLD Day. That's really, really important. Come with us to celebrate his life, his music, all that he's done for us, the lives that he's changed, and all that he's done for all of you guys. If you guys are Juice WRLD fans, I hope to see you there. If you see me, stop me. Yeah, say what's up. Tell me you listen to the podcast. Let's take some pictures. That's hopefully we're vlogging out there.
Yeah.
So you can get a chance to be in the vlog. It's gonna be pretty cool. Should we end it on that?
Yeah.
The vlogs? We should start vlogging again.
We have to. But we are. I mean, like, we are.
By the time this comes out, we should be vlogging right now.
We're going to,
Yeah. Sometimes I get like, vlogs are tough if you don't have like a lot of people, around you.
Yeah.
And like when we're locked in, like working, we don't socialize. So it's kind of hard to like build that. So I think in these coming days, coming weeks, we're working on like finding our people.
Yeah.
Because that's really important. Finding your people is really important. So.
It gives the beauty to all. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. You're the best.
This second episode.
We did it.
That was pretty smooth.
That was smooth.
Okay, what do you want the outros. Come on, give me some idea.
Dude.
3, 2.